Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the inspirational Lady Noble. I trust that you are doing well, loving yourself and those who are around you. Today, I'd like to come to you with some words of inspiration and some words of encouragement. And I was pondering and thinking about talk shows. And the first talk show that crossed my mind, I was thinking about the late, great Jerry Springer show. And we all know the Jerry Springer show, had a lot of toxicity going on, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing and drama. And we all loved it because we all watched it, okay? But one thing that I began to ponder on is the fact that no matter what the show was about, what kind of fight took place, Jerry Springer always had a final thought. Um, he always had a final thought, no matter how many fights took place, how violent it got, how many ugly words was expressed. He always closed the show out with a final thought. And that final thought kind of balanced out the toxicity that we saw or watched on the show previously, before it ended. And I also, that led me to duality, the negative and positive, the light and the dark of all people, places, and things. Duality resides in all. It just is what it is, respectfully. And the Spirit put it on my heart to do this video just to remind someone that's going to hear this message to be mindful of what you subject your energy to. Be mindful of, whether it's on social media, whether it's the music, whether it's a movie, whether it's, in person. Maybe you're having a conversation with a person. I did a video on patterns. Always pay attention to patterns and within people, especially with conversations. It's easy to detect, if you are conversing or exposing your energy to something, such as you're watching something on social media, and the distribution of a message or a topic is always negative, it's always dark, you know, and the situation isn't closed out with a final thought. Now, I understand that some situations, everything we watch isn't a talk show, but I'm just using Jerry Springer as an example. No matter how much toxicity was in the distribution, when we watched it, he closed it out with something positive and uplifting. And so just be mindful of, things you watch on social media, things you watch on television, as well as the music you listen to or things you expose your children to. If it has a pattern of toxicity or negative energy, and you're never observing or witnessing, this platform or this music or this person change their tone, well, you are exposing yourself to negative projection. We can't control others. We can only control ourselves. So just be mindful of this. Be mindful, collective, of what you subject yourself to. Be mindful of opening your energy up to these kind of frequencies, to these kinds of tones. You cannot, once again, control others, but you can control yourself. You can control what you allow yourself to be exposed to. You can control what you allow your children to be exposed to. And do not allow popularity and familiarity to fool you. Don't assume and think, oh, this person is popular, or this person, I'm very familiar with them, everything's going to be okay, or everybody else is doing it. Because trust me, energy doesn't lie, and energy is real. You could wake up having a good day or having a good week, and out of nowhere, maybe your feelings, for example, start to change, or your emotions, and then you're wondering, where this coming from? I woke up feeling great. Well, all of a sudden, you don't feel well. It could be physically, maybe your stomach hurt, maybe you got a headache. Energy moves like that sometimes, or you could just be in a bad mood, but you just can't quite put your finger on why. So just be mindful. If someone is showing a pattern of expressing anything, whether it's a conversation, speaking on a particular topic, and it's always toxic, it's always negative, or collective, they have a tone where they're distributing a message and they're trying to convince you that you will be conquered in some kind of way. They're trying to convince you maybe someone's coming for you or someone's going to harm you. But before they close their conversation, there's never, there's never a closing story. There's never a balance, there's never a final thought, I'll say, back to Jerry Springer. And I'm not speaking on this topic to poke and pry at anyone. Spirit put it on my heart to pass this message because someone really needs to hear this and understand about energy and how not to allow yourself. It's not that people are always trying to project onto you. You have to be mindful individually as adults to not allow yourself to be exposed to those different low vibrational frequencies. If someone is speaking to you, even if you're having a conversation, you could be having a conversation with a friend, you're out to lunch, or maybe you're visiting their home, or you're hanging out with them. It could be over the telephone. And every conversation is something negative, something toxic, or they're speaking to you in a tone, once again, trying to convince you that you will be conquered in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, you can put that however it resonates for you, but I'm pretty sure you get the gist of what I'm saying. Once again, be mindful to pay attention to patterns. It matters. It matters, like I said, when you're in a good mood and all of a sudden you're in a bad mood, but you can't put your finger on it. You woke up feeling well, but all of a sudden you have a headache or a stomach ache. Energy does not lie. Energy is real, but be mindful. You do not have to be in fear. This is not a message of fear. I do not project fear because fear does not exist. Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's all it represents. So you are the captain of your ship. Continue to do that. You are the pilot. Continue to do that. You are the driver. Continue to do that. But be mindful of what you allow yourself, especially if you have small children, expose them to, as well as yourself. Because it's so easy, I must say, before I close out this video, to point out. I mean, you really don't have to point out because it sticks out on its own. When a person has a pattern, if I'm saying that right, of distributing messages or conversations or topic in a particular demeanor, and it never changes. It's always the same tone, collective. There is something wrong with that. And it's not for you to figure out, but it is for you to practice self-preservation and remove your energy from connecting with that frequency. So once again, just be mindful of what you allow yourself to be exposed to, and do not be fooled. Do not allow familiarity and popularity to make you be consistent, with exposing yourself to these kind of topics, conversations, movies, music, etc. It's all about balance. You have to balance things out. If you receive information that you must tell someone, I believe you should be honest with them and tell them, whether it's negative or positive. But to be constantly and consistently on a bandwagon or a parade of toxicity, every time someone speaks to you, or every time you open your mind, or all the thoughts in your mind are dark, there is something wrong with that. But once again, it is not our job or your job to figure it out. It's only your job to protect yourself and practice self-preservation. So I hope this message find you for your highest good. Have this discussion or topic with someone you love or you care about, especially if you have any young adults in your family, maybe teenagers or children. Have this conversation, maybe with your family, maybe at the dinner table, about, not making sure that you are just mindful of your energy, period, balance it out. It's all about balance. You got to have the light and the dark. You got to have the good and the bad. It's about balancing it out, not just staying on one side. How about dabbling in both and just balancing things out? Embrace the dark, because that's where you can find the light. Ashe.